Welcome. You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. Woohoo! Yeah.
Woo!
That's the way we roll, KHTS. You're listening to the Ask Brien radio show, AskBrien. And if you've never listened to the show, well, we're going to explain to you what our show is all about. It's a good show to listen to if you want to learn about business, if you want to learn about new technologies, if you want to learn about basically, if you want to have anything about learning or get some more information about business or how to make your business better, Ask Brien is the way to go. Now, multitude of people have constantly asking me. I mean, if anyone tells me what's Ask Brien about, they always ask me, why are you spelling Brien with an E? Why is it spelled ASKBRIEN? And so we spent a lot of time and research on this. We couldn't figure out the answer. But finally, we asked the engineer one day, and he gave us the answer. And he said he knows all the answers. And he thinks he knows everything. So we're going to allow, and everything starts with an E as well. So we're going to allow, on our permission, what does the E in Ask Brien stand for? And why didn't you not spell it A-N or Y-A-N? Why is it spelled B-R-I-E-N?
Well, first things, I want to thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to say the E, sir. But the E stands for a number of things that have to do with the Ask Brien
engineer is
show.
not included, so go ahead.
He took away my shtick, ladies and gentlemen.
What's a shtick?
Shtick. It's like your gimmick. You know what I mean? It's
hey, we're
either
not a
way.
gimmick. This is an honorable show.
my gimmick. Anyways, there's a number of words the E stands for. One of them is empathy, which he did not show because he took away my engineer word. So now we are down one word because he.
No, I was in your shoes, and I figured one less thing for you to do. So I was
very
empathizing
true.
with
So
you.
he was okay. You know what? He was technically empathizing, maybe not the nicest way, but he was empathizing. So I'll give him that. The other one is experts because it is recommended that you be an expert on this show to be able to be on this show, and we talk to our experts. Another one is excellence because everybody here has nothing but excellence on here. Another one is I think there's one that's excitement. Am I right?
Well, we've got that. If you would have put forth a lot of effort, you would have known that.
He got me there. He did. Effort is good because everybody here gives 110% effort.
And very close to excitement is
Enthusiasm, right? That was
okay,
right?
But I was thinking of a different E.
What is it then?
You need to have energy.
Okay, all right. So he threw
Similar to enthusiasm.
He threw me a
Very simple.
curveball. We did not talk about that one. He threw me a curveball. That's
Well,
on me. That's on me.
You know, yeah, if I'm just going to lob you softballs, you can go work for another radio station.
He threw me
Here,
a
we're
slider
very
and I
tough-
couldn't hit.
Tough crowd. We need a tough crowd. We want intelligent people on our show.
Oh! Are you calling me dumb? Maybe.
I said we want intelligent people on the show. You're on it. What are you talking about?
Oh, yay.
Obviously, he has another issue with E. It's called for low self-esteem because he feels like we're always going to attack him.
That's an
All
A.
right. All right, we have to go on with our show. I know lots of people like this banter, okay? Traci loves it, but we'll have to go on and continue this show. Laughing does not start with an E, so laughing is not part of it, Traci, but good try.
He got you there, Trace.
Yeah, you got me. What can I say? I'm done. You got me.
But anyway, for people, we got to start our show, and basically, Ask Brien is part of the Ask Brien Network, AskBrien.com website. We have two components for the website. If you go visit the site, we have a business community where by people within one industry are asking other people questions. Like next week, our esteemed co-host will be handling a virtual conference on podcasting, so she will be speaking to other podcasters about best practices. Excuse me, that is the part of the show where we talk about business community. And then we have experts that if you qualify to become an expert on Ask Brien, you can then answer questions to other people. That's based on your discipline: marketing, engineering, podcasting, legal. I don't know who would have any one of those components, but that's the type of experts that we're looking for the show. Someday we may get the engineer on the as an expert. Someday we may get a podcast to become an expert on AskBrien.com. Someday we may have a lawyer.
Well, now we just need maybe about 9,000 more hours doing the show, or 9,000 more shows, and I'll be an expert.
Well, you are an expert. You know what? Our engineer is an expert. He's an expert in one thing, and that is when I scream, he's an expert in determining whether or not I'm going to scream or not to lower the volume. That is what he's an expert in. He has 10,000 hours of that.
I got cat-like reflexes. What can I say?
But we have our co-host, Traci DeForge. I don't know what he's doing there with the thing again. He's playing around with his little thing like he thinks he's going to catch somebody. I don't know what he is. Anyway, we have a very, very interesting guest. And for our show this time, we actually are having a different, unusual angle. So usually the people that are on the show are creators of some technology invention or CEO. Today's guest, we have somebody who actually lived through the experience with an inventor who created a great concept, and we wanted to ask and get information how she was able to handle that. What did she learn from that? What did she learn that she could tell other people about that? And without any further ado, how do you spell ado?
ADIEU.
You like that word, don't you?
I do like that word.
Ado, Brien. Nothing on the show is like basic, straightforward. You know.
No, it's not. It's unique.
We don't have any John Smiths here. You know, it's always
That's true.
Ados or Brian's with an E
or alas or something like that. Yeah.
But without any further ado, we have Dipti Patel. Are you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here. It's Dipti Patel. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you, although we're not in person.
Oh, wait, I need to hear you say that again because I have a southern accent and I do not want to slaughter your name.
Your accent is from the South?
You know what? Do you
I
want me
you
to? You know what?
Accent.
It's Dipti Patel, but if we do it with a southern accent, it's Dipti Patel, y'all. That was for you.
Well, how do you say it if you're from
y'all.
Boston?
That was awesome.
How do you say it if you're from Boston? I parked the car around the garage.
Originally, I'm from New York, so if I did New York, it's Dipti Patel. Use guys. It's Dipti Patel here, you know. But Boston, I've only been here 3 years, so I can't put that one on just yet.
Well,
but my friends call me D, so everybody's welcome to call me D.
All right, D.
I can do that.
Well, you know, Traci, you guys, your last name starts with a D, so therefore we're there. Anyway, let's get into this show here. I mean, people like to have this banter, but let's get into it. So, D, and that's what I'm going to call you for the show, D. I know a lot of Patels, so D is better. So, my understanding is your husband has created some type of program. What did your husband create?
Okay, so I want to say about 12 years ago, he was working as an e-learning developer, and he realized that there were so many issues with what he was doing, and so he created this product. It's a SaaS product, and it allows you to document any application process. So what does that mean in layman terms? Basically,
SaaS
if
is
you
like
have a
SASE?
company,
Is SaaS
software
like
as a service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, let's say you have a company, and your company has applications that it runs on. Like, for example, it has accounting, HR, sales, all these different systems that every company needs to function. And you have all these employees. Well, how do you teach all your employees how to use all these systems? I mean, it could take forever. So our tool, it allows the subject matter expert or whoever's proficient in that program to do what they're doing. We record with our tool what you're doing, and then they could share it. So it's like basically like having somebody over your shoulder showing you what to do.
Well, I've had that my entire life. I mean, when I was 5 years old, my mom was over my shoulder. What are you doing, Peter? Peter, you can't do that, you know. So I had that whole thing, and then yes, when I got to school, I did. So, and what is the name of that product?
It's called Iorad, IORAD. Basically, we take away the copying and pasting screenshots. We automate the entire process. I mean, if anybody's copied and pasted screenshots, you know how tedious and cumbersome it is. I mean, it takes up hours of your time. And we basically allow you to do this within minutes. So it's a fantastic tool. Definitely check it out. It's at iorad.com. And we have a free plan for anybody who's interested in just playing around with it, checking it out. I mean, it doesn't hurt. Check it out. It's really, really great.
Well, so we're going to talk a lot about yourself, but I still want to get
Yeah.
a little bit more about this product. So how can you, if I have to copy and paste 500 screenshots, right? How how does it become automated on your system? How does that become automated so that I don't have to copy and paste? I would think I still need to copy and paste. Otherwise, how does it know what I'm... So explain
We
that.
watch you. We watch everything you're doing. So let's say, for example, you want to show your mom how to sign onto Facebook so that they can come listen to this radio station. So you basically launch our app. It's a it's a Chrome extension. You launch it, you press click, and then you go about your regular steps. Sign in, etc. When you're done, you press done, and then we break it down for you into step-by-step instructions. And it's instantaneously, so you don't do the copy and pasting. We watch you, and we behind the scenes do it all for you.
So is that being done by a video, combination video Siri type concept where somebody is actually, you need a camera for that, or how does that work?
No. It's basically our technology. We take care of everything behind the scenes. You don't have to do anything except go about your steps like you normally do. It's so super easy. And we can sit here on the phone and I could try to explain it to you, but the best way for you to really get an idea is to just go on our website and try it.
And you said you have a free plan. So
Yeah.
What's the limitation on that free plan?
There's no limitation. You can make as many free tutorials as you want for as long as you want.
Well, that's pretty cool. And
Yeah.
so your husband started it. When he started the company, what were you doing?
Technically, I'm his first angel investor. That's the way we call it, because so when he started this company, we don't have any VC funding. We don't have any investors. He did this on his own. I should say we did this on our own, because all the money that he was making or we were earning was going into building this product. So what was I doing while he was working on this? I quit my job and I stayed at home to raise the kids.
Well,
I became a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. So that, and we balanced each other out. He was working on this, and then I was taking care of the house and raising a family.
okay, but if you're raising, you're taking care of the kids, and he's got this startup, okay, without any revenue, okay, how do you pay the rent?
Oh, you know what? That's a funny question. So he had 3 jobs. The first job was to provide for us. The second job was to basically fund Iorad. And the third job would come every now and then when he needed a little bit of extra money.
So what's the extra money part?
Extra money is all the fun things like going to the movies, a vacation here and there, things like that. I mean, the first job was to pay the rent and provide and put food on the table, and raise the kids. A family costs money these days. The second went to Iorad, and then whenever we needed that little extra, he would get a third job.
Wow, sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, that's why when people look at Iorad and we get the feedback that we do, most people don't realize how much labor, sacrifice, and at the end of the day, love went into building this product. It's like every detail is a labor of love.
So, is your husband, is he a coder?
No.
So because this technology
basically is, we both went to Boston University. My degree's in speech therapy, and he was a bio major. He was going to be a doctor. And we got to the point where we're like, okay, should you be applying to med school? And he was like, wait a minute, I don't like the sight of blood. So, shifted gears. And I didn't want to work as a speech therapist. It was the 90s, so I got a great job. I actually fell into working as a software tester, a QA analyst, and through me, he got a job working as an e-learning developer, and the rest is history.
So before, when I was asking you about
Yeah.
using her, Tracy's name with a Bostonian accent, you went to Boston University. It should be no problem.
I did. So I guess I could do Park the Car and Harvard Yard. I mean, I think true Bostonians would cringe at my accent, but that's about as much as I could do. I could do Staten Island. I grew up there, so that comes naturally. And we lived in North Carolina for a few years, so that southern bit is a little bit easier. But the Boston is a hard accent to mimic.
Wow. So you were not working. You were taking care of the kids. How big is your family?
So we have 3 kids. We have a son. He's going to be 20 on Saturday, and the girls are 16 and 12.
And when did you start Iorad?
Iorad?
Yeah. Iorad.
I think it's right after Adia was born, like sometime I want to say in 2007-ish. Yeah, so it was just a simple thought, and it took a long time to kind of get it to where it is now. We had a lot of like ups and downs. And while we were kind of, so the concept came from the both of us. We were both bantering back and forth on what we like with work, what works, what doesn't, et cetera, et cetera. But the seed was his. And little by little, it kind of blossomed into what it is now. It's had so many, I guess, lives, if you want to say. The first time we did it, they kind of had to scrap a lot of it and come back to it. And it's had its own life, I guess.
And how long did it take from the time you thought about the idea till it was actually out there for the public?
When did it come? When did he release? I want to say 2014 is when we officially launched, so 7 years before we released, and we got our first paying customer in 2014.
Wow. And, everyone has an expertise in certain areas. So he started it out, he was alone, or obviously yourself as well. Was there anyone else involved in the company, or was it just him and bouncing maybe ideas off of you?
It was basically the 2 of us, and then we have employees. We have employees around the world. So, yeah, there's about 20 employees that we have, and most of them have been with us since the beginning. So, it's kind of like a group effort. Everybody brought in their piece of expertise, and yeah.
Well, but when did you hire your first employee?
Right away. I mean, we had to hire the first employee right away because neither one of us can code. So, he was the brainchild. He had the thoughts, and he went and he looked for somebody, and he hired that first employee, that coder, and then they started putting it together.
Okay, so that's a good question. We have about 2 more minutes left before we're going to take a break.
Yes.
So how do you find a coder? Because you know what? There's a lot of people, everyone says they're a coder, okay? A lot of people say, I can do it, I can handle the project. But what did you look for? Because that can be the death knell of some companies. I know people that have hired the wrong coder and they weren't able to get their job done. So what did you look for in the coder? Where did you find this person? And how did you know that they were good?
So, Peter, honestly,
you got lucky.
That's why it took 7 years. Because exactly what you're saying is true. I mean, it is very difficult. It's very difficult, first, to know what you're looking for when you have no idea. When this is something brand new and there's nothing to compare it against, this is kind of like, I'm going to use the word revolutionary. It's a revolutionary tool. There's nothing to compare it to. So the idea is coming out of thin air. So it's going to evolve. And then you try to conceptualize this with somebody else who can't even imagine what's in your head. And I'm telling you, so the first thing we did is we went to India to look for a coding team. I think that was for like 2 or 3 years. And then that's why we had to scrap that first project and start again.
Wow.
Yeah.
and not only that, while you're trying to get that idea out, it's also got to cost you not just time, but money as well. Money as well.
It costs money. And don't forget, we've got at that time we had 2 small kids. So when I said he was working, like he was gone Monday through Friday working that first job, and then in the evenings, he was working the second job. So I was a single mother for all those years. We saw him Friday night, and then he left again early Monday morning.
Wow. Of course, with COVID, it might be easier nowadays because you can probably work.
Yeah, well, now we don't have to worry. Now, Iorad is a stable, successful company. We've got lots of loyal fans and customers, and it's growing every day. We have no sales team, so our growth is purely word of mouth. And today I don't have to worry about that. One, my kids are grown up, and two, financially we're okay. We're stable now. So COVID came at the right time.
We're going to be right back. You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM.
Live life juiced up at Juice It Up Valencia. Come in and try our great tasting smoothies, protein shakes, acai, and wheatgrass for your healthy lifestyle on the go. Also, enjoy our 10 flavors of tantalizing zinc frozen yogurt and selection of healthy toppings. Juice It Up Valencia is located at the corner of Newhall Ranch Road and Copper Hill Drive in the Office Depot Plaza. Open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sundays from 8 until 8. And remember to live life juiced up at Juice It Up Valencia.
Use a hair dryer to kill COVID-19? Seriously? Here's Assembly candidate Steve Fox on Facebook, advising people to do exactly that.
Use a hair blower, use a heater, and breathe into it. It'll kill some or all of the virus.
And here's Fox telling people to drink tea to kill COVID.
They also say that if we drink a lot of liquids, we can wash down the virus into our stomach where it's going to get killed. So they're suggesting tea, and as you can see, cinnamon's my favorite, but any kind of tea will work. If you don't do it, then we're all asking for trouble.
Tea? Really? Aren't we asking for trouble if we elect Steve Fox? Last time he was in the Assembly, Fox was sued for exposing himself to a female staffer, then firing her when she complained. Fox cost taxpayers $210,000 to settle the claims against him. Steve Fox for Assembly? Are you kidding me? Ad paid for by California Dental Association Independent Expenditure PAC. Committee major funding from California Dental Association, not authorized by a candidate or a committee controlled by a candidate.
Dreaming of becoming the next Steph Curry or Klay Thompson? Or maybe just you want your kid to look good and have fun on the court? Introducing the Shotmaster. The Shotmaster is a revolutionary basketball training aid that isolates the shooting pocket, allows you to develop that consistent shot. Shotmaster will improve your shooting efficiency, accuracy, and shooting percentages dramatically. It's the ultimate training device. There's nothing like it. Visit shotmaster.net and discover for yourself how Shotmaster will become your game changer. Shotmaster.net.
Step into a hot shower or slip on a warm t-shirt fresh from the dryer, and you can feel the comfort natural gas gives us every day. For over 100 years, Southern California Gas Company has provided safe, reliable natural gas service. It warms our homes, powers cleaner vehicles, and cooks our food at a fraction of the cost of other energy sources with less environmental impact, today and for decades to come. Natural gas, part of the clean energy solution. Learn more at SoCalGas.com. Search solution.
If you have a business problem, if someone doesn't honor their agreement and you need an aggressive attorney with over 27 years experience, the Law Office of Peter Bronstein has helped partners resolve disputes, franchisees resolve disputes, and other business owners who have a challenge. Let the Law Office of Peter Bronstein take your stress away. Visit lacorporateattorney.com. Don't wait too long and lose your rights. Solve your business challenge problem today. Visit lacorporateattorney.com.
Kip Muller. He rented an apartment in our district just 2 months before he started running for Senate.
But what Mueller did before moving here bothers us even more.
Kip Muller worked for an ultra-liberal Sacramento politician who negotiated a deal to release 27,000 prison inmates.
Mueller founded a PAC that helped elect a San Francisco politician who is working to open government-authorized heroin injection centers where addicts could go to legally shoot up.
And now Kip Muller supports blowing up Prop 13, raising billions in property taxes in the middle of a recession.
Kip Muller doesn't share our values.
He'll make tough times even tougher.
That's why he's wrong for us
and wrong for the Senate.
Ad paid for by Keeping Californians Working, a coalition of housing providers, energy, and insurance agents. Committee major funding from Farmers Group and California Apartment Association. This advertisement was not authorized by a candidate or a committee controlled by a candidate.
Hometown, your hometown station.
Welcome back. You listen to KHTS 1220 98.1 FM. See? I always know how to get you.
I mean, that wasn't an introduction, but you got me.
I got you. That's the only key.
I guess so.
How's my co-host Tracy doing? Do you have thousands and thousands of
What?
questions? Or what?
What? I think I had my earplugs in, so should I take them out now?
If you take him out now, then I can introduce you as Tracy. Tracy, yeah?
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry.
I just need to make sure your things are out. Everyone here is experiencing it. You have to experience it as well.
I was experiencing
Dee was
it,
listening.
all right.
She heard it. So come on. Dee, I wanted to continue on that last question I'd asked, and then Tracy said she's got like 35 questions to ask, so I'm gonna have to turn it over to her. But
I don't know, Tracy. I'm getting nervous with that 35 number.
Oh, what is that? It's 99 questions, and Dee's got one.
But anyway, so we talked about...
Which is probably why did I come on this show? That's one question.
Because I had to scream my name to somebody. So the earlier question was, so your husband didn't do coding. You had to find a coder. What did you look at? What did you look at to find a coder? I'm sorry. The owner of the station
To find the
came by
coders that we have? Or to find the coders originally?
To find the original coders. What do you look for? You're not a coder. How do you look for one? It's like, I'm not an engineer. How do I look to find a good engineer? I wouldn't even know what questions to ask, and if I did, I wouldn't know if he's a good engineer. I don't know if the guy here is a good engineer.
You know what? Honestly, Peter, I think this is a fantastic question for him because he's the one who found the coder. But from what I know, it's really networking. I mean, for God's sake, we're Indian. How many Indians do you know that are coders and developers? I mean, we rule that industry. So it was really a lot of networking and asking, and truth be told, a lot of trial and error. 7 years of trial and error, to be honest with you. So I can't give you an easy answer, but I mean, I think he could talk about this for days. He's got a plethora of experience and knowledge, and he's really good at sharing for anybody that comes to him. So I think you should invite him and ask him these questions.
Well, he will be on a show to ask him those type of questions. But
yeah,
for you, I just thought that maybe you had some background in that. Now, while he's going out and finding coders and working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you're taking care of your family, I'm trying to find out. Today now, you are trying to start something yourself. What are you trying to start now?
So now my babies are all grown up. I mean, my son is a second year in college. The girls I said are 16 and 12. And like I said, while I was never actively and like forward facing involved in Iorad, I've always been here on the sidelines. A lot of the features that we use are kind of tested on me. You guys, I have a really good E word for you. Iorad is easy. You like that?
Yeah. I mean, we also use the easy button, but now next week when I ask those questions, he's going to have another E to answer.
But I mean, a lot of the features that we were using, we tested out on to make sure that somebody who's not so tech savvy like me can use it, as well as somebody who's technologically, proficient can use it as well. And then because of my QA background, the original early years when the coders were doing their work, I was doing their QA work. So I've always been there. And then, as the kids got older, I took a step back. Raising 3 kids is a full-time job. And and I put more effort and energy in kids and home life and all that fun stuff. And now I'm kind of ready to step out of the sidelines and be back in the game. So I'm figuring it all out.
So what is your goal?
With Iorad?
No.
More people.
Not with Iorad.
For me in general?
What is your goal? I'm not asking about your husband's company that is owned by the two of you. I'm asking what is your goal?
My goal in life. Yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess I don't understand the question. What is my goal with what? I have tons of goals.
Well, okay. But what are you trying what are you trying to accomplish?
Tracy, help me.
All right, Tracy, you're on. 35 questions. Go.
I kind of wanted to say you only said you were going to follow up with one question, and then I got to put in my next 99. So, so I will clarify his question by saying that I love in your LinkedIn profile that you say, so now the kids are grown up, it's time for me to figure out what my role is in the company that I helped build. But piggybacking onto that, you consider yourself the cheap. No, you don't consider yourself
No cheap.
You consider yourself cheap.
If I was cheap, then my husband wouldn't have to work the third job, you know?
Exactly, right?
Oh.
No, I love it that you're the chief, and let's not say chief happiness officer. So I think that's an amazing goal just to have within yourself, is to be the curator of happiness for your team members, and your in wearing the many hats and being the customer champion and organizer extraordinaire. Because they say behind every great man and his company is a strong female. So tell us a little bit about your road and your goals in that area. How about that?
I think the chief happiness officer is a really important, I mean, I don't really know what a chief happiness officer does in like corporate America, but for me it was a really important title because I had to be mentally ready to take on this role. I mean, it's so important to keep balance and keep that positivity up. When you decide you're going to be the owner of your own happiness, I mean, that's a lot of, I'm going to say work. It takes a lot of work to decide and wake up every morning that today will be a good day. It's so easy to fall down these negative holes and traps, you know. I needed to be positive and uplifting and happy for my family, for my husband who was working far away from us at times or overwhelmed and stressed, for the employees, for our customers. We've got lots and lots of teachers as customers and schools, and you know, I mean, day to day, like things can get you down. I mean, look at us in COVID. It's so easy to feel trapped. But if you decide to wake up every day and be happy, then you are the chief happiness officer of your life.
Well, and that's so inspiring too, because I mean, literally you were doing it in a supportive capacity, in a powerful role in terms of building this company. And I do think that it's important to not only just celebrate that you did that, getting the company to this place, but also that you continue to be a positive force within the company. And I think, you know, very, very often those things aren't honored or celebrated. And I think that it's great that you're willing to not only just, you know, acknowledge that you had a big role in that, but also, you know, being super comfortable with how important it is to maintain the happiness with your team and team building and happiness in an organization. What is the one thing that you think, or tell us one or two things that you do in this role that really, especially with COVID and team building being so much more challenging now that people are working remotely, what are a couple things that you've been doing this year to really maintain that positive work environment?
So, Tracy, you know, with COVID, it wasn't a big change for us or our lifestyle. I mean, we call ourselves the Nomadic Patels because in 2016, my husband Sandeep and I, we pulled the kids out of school, we packed up our house, and we traveled to 13 countries for a year with a carry-on suitcase and a backpack each. And, you know, doing the remote learning, working from home, talking to customers, being just the five of us in small quarters, if you want to say, for a year, that was just part of our life for a year. We learned so much from that experience. And then that kind of carried over to 2017, 18, 19. So when we did COVID in 2020, we had kind of had 4 years of training on how to survive what's going on. And I remember back in those days when I would tell girlfriends or people that I knew that I was homeschooling my kids, and everybody was like blown away. What? How can you homeschool your kids? But today, you know, every parent is a homeschooling parent. You know, for the last how many months, We've been teaching our kids. We've been working from home. It's a whole different world, you know, and I think we had 4 years of practice to get to this point. So the transition for us was a lot easier.
Well, I would say that a lot of people are under duress homeschooling their kids, but nobody puts in their profile that I've seen ever before that you loved it so much that you would do it all the time.
I love it. I love it. Honest to God. I mean, you know what? I think when we talk about homeschooling, like if I'm talking about homeschooling, like right now where the teacher's on the computer and my child is learning, it's a lot. But for us, it was, I was teaching about Gandhi on the Sabarmati River in India, or we were learning about Egyptian and hieroglyphics, like Egyptian history and hieroglyphics while we were looking at the pyramids. You know, it's a different type of homeschooling, and I think I could do that kind of homeschooling all the time. I'm learning with them.
Well, I think I applaud you for doing that in general, and then also maintaining and working within your company role as you have. So tell me a little bit about the idea for the company. You shared at the beginning of the interview a little bit about how the idea came to fruition, but what was where did you see a room in the competitive landscape where you thought, okay, this tool is going to be the biggest problem solver for X?
I think it came down to like when you know what you're talking about in your industry, and this pertains to every industry, and you become basically the subject matter expert, correct? And then when you're trying to be productive and you're getting your work done, and every 5 minutes somebody's coming to you with a question, hey, how do I do this? Hey, how is this done? And I think that was kind of the starting point of how this tool came to life. That's part one is, you know, all these questions are constantly asked. And the second part was to copy and paste. I mean, it doesn't take a lot of brain power, if that's what I can say. And to get paid the kind of money that you get paid, it again didn't feel right. And so something was kind of like, there has to be a better way. And that's where this came from.
And so walk me through your target customer.
So that's the funny part, is that we always thought it would be corporate America. Like when we started it, we did corporate America and businesses, because that's the industry we were in. 2017, during that year gap, we were living in Rome for 4 months. And all of a sudden the phone was going crazy. There was an influx of teachers asking if there was a teacher plan or if there was a discount for teachers. And that's when we learned that, hey, our product was a perfect fit for the education world and for teachers and that whole area. And we're learning every day how this tool fits into different industry. Because look, at the end of the day, even if you're a doctor, you have to use some type of software or application to run your business, you know? And what we do is we allow whoever knows how to use that tool to make these step-by-step instructions that can be shared to everybody. So you don't need to have that one person who knows it all. We call this the knowledge loop. Basically, create or capture, create, share.
Wow.
Okay, I want to hold that thought as we go into the break, because when we come back, I want to ask you about scaling the business and who you see as your competitors. So with that, Peter, take it away.
Don't ask her ahead of time. Now she knows. She's going to Google it up and figure out.
Well,
I am. I'm going to Google it up.
We're like 60 minutes. Leslie
and,
Stahl,
and
over and out.
And I have empathy, and I'm kind. So therefore, she gets a little time to think about it.
Whoa. All right. Listen to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. Be right back.
Comfort Keepers provides your loved one with loving in-home care.
Miles McNamara, certified senior advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care.
Our caregivers can help you in your own home, enhancing independence, creating safety and comfort. Our Comfort Keepers provide companionship, meal preparation, medication reminders, assistance with personal care, and even transportation to doctor's appointments. If someone you love can use a helping hand at home, visit comfortkeepers.com.
Or call 287-4200.
If you have a business problem, if someone doesn't honor their agreement and you need an aggressive attorney with over 27 years experience, the law office of Peter Bronstein has helped partners resolve disputes, franchisees resolve disputes, and other business owners who have a challenge. Let the law office of Peter Bronstein take your stress away. Visit lacorporateattorney.com. Don't wait too long and lose your rights. Solve your business challenge problem today. Visit lacorporateattorney.com. We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Facey knows life gets busy. Let us go to work for you in the Santa Clarita Valley. We have 34 primary care physicians and 55 specialty doctors in 4 offices. And Facey has easy 24/7 online appointment scheduling for PCPs and PEDS with some extended hour appointments available. We are Facey Medical Group. Let us go to work for you today. For more information or to make an appointment, visit facey.com. That's FACEY.com.
Find the perfect job for you at College of the Canyon's Fall 2020 Virtual Job Fair. The Fall Job Fair is 100% live and online. If you're an employer looking for new recruits, this is the perfect opportunity to find them. And if you're a job seeker looking for employment, COC's Virtual Job Fair will let you connect online in real time with the employers seeking to fill their open positions. It's free and open to the public. October 27th, 28th, and 29th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information and to register, go to cocjobfair.com. That's cocjobfair.com.
It's like no other station I've ever listened to. It's great.
Your hometown station.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM with my co-host, Traci DeForge, and my special guest, D.
Say it. Say my name. Say my name.
Patel!
Say my name. There you go.
Say my name. Say my name.
Fantastic song, by the way.
Wow. Okay. I got that. We're having so much fun. I kind of hate to get into the real super core business stuff, but it is a super core, hardcore business show. So here we go.
Yeah.
And you had some prep time. So tell us, okay, who are your competitors and how are you scaling? Choose the order of which you want to answer.
So I'm going to talk about how we're scaling because I'm really excited about it. We just hired our first chief marketing officer, and you might think, okay, you've been in this space for quite some time. How are you making money? You know, if you've got a free product and you're giving out to everybody and you don't have a sales team, how are you making money? How can you put food on the table so somebody doesn't have to work 3 jobs? And really, honestly, it's been word of mouth. When I say we have super fans, they are more than our super fans. I mean, the first thing when we do a demo and people see it, I think, Peter, you did the same too when we did the demo, didn't you? You were like, wow.
Absolutely.
Because it's
in fact,
such
I wanted for Ask Brien.
tool.
We needed for Ask Brien.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the exciting part about scaling is, and for a long time we were kind of like, do we want to just keep riding this? It's a good life, you know. We can pay the bills. We have a little nest egg. We get to, and we have no investors, so we're not answering to anybody. We 100% own this company, so we get to kind of do our own thing. And I think we're at that point where like, no, this is such a and I'm tooting my own horn. It really is a fantastic product, and it needs to be in everybody's hands, especially during this time where we're no longer in the offices and we have lots of things to show each other. So we hired our CMO, and we're hoping to grow that way. And also, we work with our partners, and we've partnered up with like LMS companies like Lessonly and WorkRamp and SkillJar. And when they're selling their package, they add us into their, we're an add-on. So we kind of enhance companies' products. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't know if I'm explaining it right.
So as like a joint ventureship, partnerships and collaborations and things like that?
It's not a joint ventureship. It's more like we're just an add-on. We kind of take your tool and we make it a little bit better and easier for you to explain it to your customers. We're not competitive. As far as the competition space, I don't think we have any competition. I mean, there's a lot of tools out there that claim to be our competition, but I don't think we consider them to be. We don't consider them to be ours because we're not talking the same language. We kind of, our voice is geared toward the user, whether you're taking the tutorial or you're creating the tutorial. You know, you don't have to be any type of IT expert or like a help desk guru or anything to install. You don't have to be tech savvy to use Iorad, and that's the key. Is it is literally for everybody. And when I say if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Well,
we just have just a few seconds left. So I wanted, if you were to give one piece of advice for being a mom and starting a business and running a business with your husband, what would it be?
I'm going to say the classic thing that every single person says: breathe. Everything begins and ends with breathing, and don't overthink it. I think for the early years of our marriage and building this business and raising the kids, I mean, I was like a neurotic mess. You know, we can have a whole different show on that. Just enjoy the process. Everything is about the journey. Don't look at the end goal. Every day is going to happen. And I think if you look at the process and the journey, you'll be happy versus looking at the monetary value or the end result. I mean, that never leads to success or happiness.
Thank you very much.
Just enjoy it every day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
KHTS
Dave.
1220.
Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you so much. I had so much fun.
Great.